Good evening, and welcome to this week's Black Mental Health is Black Health. I'm your host, Bronwyn Lucas, and tonight we have an exciting topic because we're talking about all those myths about mental health. There's so many out there, we need to get rid of them because they are not helpful to us at all. So let's get started. We always start with some deep breathing, taking some deep cleansing breaths to allow us to get more oxygen in our brain and throughout our body so that we can think and feel better. So let's get started. I'm going to count to four very slowly. I want you to breathe in slowly. I'll say breathe out, and I'll count to four slowly again, and you'll breathe out. Let's get started. Three deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four, in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four. One more. In, two, three, four, out, two, three, four. Allowing us to allow more oxygen in our brain and our body allows you to calm down, drop your blood pressure a little bit, and woosah and relax. So, tonight, as I said, we're going to be dispelling the myths about mental health in the African American community. And we're going to dispel the myths with facts. There is so much we hear and we say about mental health that we have these ideas that aren't true and aren't helpful to us. So tonight, I wanted to take some time and say, let's get a real picture of mental health and figure out what do we need to do and how do we need to manage it better. So, like I said, there's so many myths out there. One of the myths is that black folks don't have mental health problems. Mm-mm. And when we do, it's just a little. We're not like all those people in those other communities. We're good. We don't have those problems. And when we do, we don't go to therapy. Mm-mm. That's not us. Not true. Um, African Americans face a lot of mental health challenges. Honey, being black in America is a mental health challenge. Having your identity being knocked down just because of the melanin in your skin, yeah, we face some challenges, some mighty challenges. Our community faces challenges. So, individually, in our families, in our communities, we face challenges that really impact our mental health. So, yeah, it's real. Let me see, how real is it? One study says that 20% of African American adults experience mental health issues. We're going to talk about teens and children later. I will tell you, I think it's higher. You know, in the last slide, what I didn't say was that address the issue of black people don't go to therapy. Well, we do. I will tell you, 97% of my clientele are African American. And I think we need to quit saying that because as long as we say it, we're making that the truth. It is a lie. We are going more and more. So maybe more truthful statement would be African Americans are starting to go to therapy. We're starting to do that. Men are going, women are going, children are going. All of our people are now going and seeking help through therapy. So it's a myth that we don't go to therapy. We do. So quit saying it. Maybe you don't go. Or people who go, yeah, I'm that rare black person and I can come to therapy. Mm-mm. You're just another person in therapy. I mean, and that's a good thing because we are going and we need to acknowledge that, yeah, we're in therapy. We need it. It's true. Let's get the help we need. Um, Here's another myth. Well, racism doesn't matter. It's not a factor in our mental health. Really? Now, that's just a straight up lie. Racism is a definite factor in our mental health. We look at systemic racism. We look at having to face microaggressions every day for some people. We look at it's not even microaggressions, it's straight up aggression. We look at the number of black women who were fired in the last year. All of these things are based on racism, and all of these things impact us financially, emotionally, spiritually. So, yes, all of the things that racism brings to the table impacts our mental health. It is hard to continue to fight against something. It's emotionally difficult to fight against that wall you have to face, that wall of racism. And it's become more and more prevalent now in America. It's the it's out of the box of maybe being hidden and people not, just doing little things. No, it's open season. And having to face that every day can make you not want to go outside sometimes. That is impacting your mental health. And there are historical factors I wanted to just look at with regards to our mental health and the things that since we have been on this American soil, what has happened. We came here with the period of enslavement, which that whole period in and of itself was traumatic. And those issues of that happened then still are in the DNA of our people. And then when we left the period of enslavement, we went through Reconstruction for a minute, and then came the Jim Crow era. What was the Jim Crow era? It was basically just illegal to walk around with all this melanin in our skin. Being melanated people, being African Americans, being people of African descent on the soil of America was basically illegal. There were some cities where it was written as a law if more than three black people were congregating outside talking, they could be arrested. It was too many of you talking. There were sundown towns where you couldn't be there if the sun went down because you might not be alive when it came up the next morning. So that whole period, imagine, and yes, we go on, but it impacts our mental health. It's hard to be mentally healthy with all that going on. We went through the era of the civil rights movement, and lots of good things happened to end some of those Jim Crow laws and things like that. But having to even live through it, those who watched it on television, which was our social media of the day, seeing Bloody Sunday, seeing people, uh, children being hosed down with water hose, and seeing all that, even that, in that fight for freedom, impacted our mental health negatively. And we say now, we have these strengths and there's still barriers. And you know what? Sometimes our strength is an actual barrier, especially for black women, because we have to be the strong black woman. And as the strong black woman, we can take everything. Even in medical circles, it was taught that black people felt pain differently. And so many things happen. So even when we just have that emotional strength as black women and we just have to keep going, we keep going, we keep going, that strength is a barrier to get mental health because we're fighting when we don't need to. We're being stronger than we don't need to. And that strength is killing us, literally. So that's just a look at how racism has impacted us over the years. Sometimes people think mental health is just a weakness. You need to, if you were stronger, if you were more resilient, you wouldn't have those problems. I don't know why you think you're depressed. I ain't got time to be depressed. I just move on. All of that is a lie. Your mental health is a medical condition. It's part of your health. You have mental health, you have physical health, two sides of the same coin. When you pack one, you impact the other. But it is part of your health. When you're having mental health issues, the chemicals in your brain are not functioning the way they're supposed to, which is why medication can work. Because the medication is going to deal with those chemicals and change them. They're not balanced. And we're going to talk about that in a slide or two. But understand it is nothing weak about you if you are depressed, if you're anxious, If you're schizophrenic, if you're bipolar, whatever the mental health issue is, if it's an addiction, whatever it may be, it is not a weakness, it's a medical condition. No different than if you had a medical condition like high blood pressure or diabetes. It is a medical condition that needs to be treated. As simple as that. And so, how do we treat it? There are three ways that we can attach the how we deal with this mental health. One is psychotherapy. Now, I'm a mental health professional. I'm a psychotherapist, so of course I'm going to include that. But of course, it's real, and it's not. Some people say, "Yeah, well, I'm just going to talk to somebody, and just going to talk to somebody is going to make me better." It is more than just talking to somebody. Therapists are trained in different modalities, and you might try one and try another one. But therapists are trained to help you seek the obtain the answers you need. We don't have your answers; you have your answers, and we're here to help facilitate getting those answers out, getting the solutions to your issues out of who you are. They're in there, and they need to come out, and that's our role. There's talking it out, there's tapping, there's so many different modalities we use now, but psychotherapy helps with that mental health issue because, again, you're holding everything in. It's got to come out. I've had clients sometimes when they just do a verbal dump and it's like, huh, now I can work. Or I have them do homework where they write out things. And in writing it out, you get another way to get it out. So psychotherapy helps you get it out. Then there's medication. Now, medication is also very important. As I said earlier, mental health is just health. And when it comes to our health, sometimes we need medication to get things rolling different. That might be pills. It could be we change the way we eat. I didn't put that up here, but it could be that maybe what we're doing even can impact our mental health just like it can our physical health. So medication in this case changes our brain chemistry. No different than if a person was diabetic and they were on insulin. So they need the insulin to balance out their sugar. They needed to balance out their glucose levels, and because they're not doing it on its own. Okay, that's fine, and we're good with that. Somebody who has high blood pressure, I know people who have been on five high blood pressure medicine at one time. That's a lot you put in your body, but that's a conversation for another day. But we will do all that. But when it comes to medication for our mental health, well, I just don't know about that because I don't want no pill controlling me. Well, guess what? If you're on five medications for your blood pressure, that's a pill controlling you because when you stop taking those five pills, your blood pressure may be out of whack. So it's controlling your health. What's the difference? I don't know because there isn't. It is medication that is helping your body function better, more efficiently. It can help you feel better as well as function better. Another modality is community interventions. And that could be outside of therapy, and medication is when, it's serious, it's deep, and you need some professional help. But being in your community, there are community resources. Some communities have different community centers that will have assistance with them. And some of them can include professional assistance. But just being in community, we were not meant to be alone. And when you find you allow yourself to be in community, allow yourself to be with others, that in and of itself can be healing. When you find out you're not alone, maybe someone's going through the same thing or worse or not as bad, but you're not alone. There's healing in that. But it's just being able to look at what's in your community. So let's say I can't afford therapy, I can't afford my medication. Again, those community resources, it's another way they're beneficial because there are things in your community that can give you the resources you need. Again, we were not meant to live alone. We were not meant to do everything on our own. We were meant to have help from our community. Go get it. Let's look at a few more myths. I'll never get better. I'm just happy if I start therapy. I start those pills. I'm gonna take them forever, and that's why I'm not going to take them, because I don't want to be taking a pill for the rest of my life just to feel good. But again, by that token, if you had to take your insulin for the rest of your life, you would. If you had to take that blood pressure medicine, maybe you get it down from 5 to 1, and you're still taking it. Hmm, what's the difference? But the fact is, you can get better. Change does happen. You can start taking medication and it doesn't have to be permanent. You might take it until you get the brain chemicals right, and then you're doing therapy to manage with the issues that caused that mental health breakdown. That maybe it's anxiety. What are the things that's causing your anxiety? What can you do to change them? But the anxiety could be so high that I gotta help. I just can't. I can't. I need help. So you get the medication to help decrease the anxiety, help you manage it. And it's the chemical part of your brain that's impacted by that anxiety that impacts your whole body, can be dealt with, can be minimized. Then when that happens, um, and you're in therapy, you may not need the medicine anymore, because once you get the brain chemicals working, the therapy can help you um, manage and figure out, well, how did I get here, and what can I do not to stay here, what can I do to function better. So a pill is not going to just do that, but talking to someone who can help you, again, find out the answers that lie within you that will allow you to get better. You don't have to do it on your own. Get that help that is needed. Mm. Here's another myth. My issues aren't that serious. I'll wait. If it gets worse, I'll deal with it. And some people have that same thought pattern about their physical health. I'm okay. And then you go to the doctor, and had you gone in earlier, it wouldn't be so bad. An extreme example would be a diabetic who didn't manage a sore, an open wound. Well, for them, that could lead to amputation. It could lead to something different. That's extreme, but it's also saying that when you don't deal with something when it's small, it becomes bigger. It doesn't necessarily go away. So the fact that it is managing your issues early helps them. So let's say you find yourself being more and more anxious. It's like, you know what? I don't know. Every day I'm just feeling, ooh, I'm just feeling some kind of way. And when I get in the car and I have to drive, oh, ooh, I feel like my heart is racing. Or that job causes me so much stress when I get there, I can't breathe. I have to just sit there in the car, and the thought of going in, I start sweating. It could be 10 degrees outside. I'm sweating. All of these things going on, but I'm okay. When it gets real bad, well, baby, it's real bad now. And maybe if you dealt with it when it was something small before it got to that point, it wouldn't have to get to that point. So it is serious. We need to understand, again, it's part of our health. We have to take care of all of our health, our physical health, our mental health. We've got to take care of it. And the sooner you start taking care of issues, the better. If an issue is there, let me deal with it now before it becomes a bigger issue. It's important to manage it. What about children? You think children can have mental health issues? Yeah, they can. And at very early ages. You're like, so the myth is children can't have any mental health issues because they're too young to have issues. We live in a very complicated world right now. And sometimes children are in such dysfunctional homes that the mental health issues are thrust upon them because that toxic environment that they're living in is more than anyone can handle. And a child is even at more risk because they don't have the coping skills to manage. So, yeah, they can have mental health issues. And the fact of that matter is that not only do they have mental health issues, you don't think about kids being suicidal. And we can think about teenagers, but did you know that there are suicidal rates for the ages of 12, 5 to 12. And in that particular group, African American children outnumber others. They outnumber white children. Wow. 5 to 12, there's a suicide rate and it's high. Let that soak in a minute. 5 to 12, there's a suicide rate and it's high in our community. And when you get to the teens from 13 to 17, they are lower than their Caucasian counterparts. However, they are growing at greater rates. Our children need help with their mental health, and we have to not ignore it because it's real. And get away from the thought that you're just a child. You need to just, child, go sit down, go play a game. If your child is telling you how they feel, listen. And they may not say, I'm depressed. They might, that 5-year-old may not know that word. But if there's a change in their behavior, the happy go lucky kid who used to like to play, now just, I'm just going inside and sit. Hmm. Or the child who used to love school, but now they seem anxious about it. Okay, I'm going. But what's wrong? Nothing. Well, if there's a change in behavior, something is wrong. So you need to see what it is. Don't brush it under the rug. As I said, there's actually suicide rates for children as young as 5 years old. And the statistics I'm quoting you are not out of my head or not a Google search. They're coming from the National Institute of Health. So when we think about it, children can have health. Think about yourself. Some of you listening may have had some issues growing up, and maybe they were addressed and maybe they weren't. I see people in my practice all the time who, this started when I was a child, but I never dealt with it. Yeah, I had these issues in elementary, and I'm 40 now, so I think I need to deal with them. Think how better along or further along they'd be if they were dealt with as a child. So, yeah, it's real. I think we have a few more facts. Oh, here's a good one. Here's the myth. I just got to pray about it. Because after all, mental health is just demonic possession. Really? Again, I say, mental health is a health concern, a health issue. Yes, you pray about it. Prayer is a factor in your health, but it's not the only factor. Going back to diabetes or high blood pressure, you pray about it, but you have to make some behavioral changes and get some help. If it's diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, it may involve medication. It definitely is going to involve a medical professional to monitor whatever is going on. What do you do with those numbers that are too high? Your doctor needs to decide that. So you have to get about it. Do you pray about it? Yeah, you're going to pray about what doctor you go to, just like you're going to pray about what mental health professional you're going to go to. You're going to pray for strength to manage it, but you're also going to have to get the help to manage it. So, yeah, we pray about it, but we take action. Prayer needs action, it's not just sitting there. So, the action is different for whatever is going on. But when it comes to our mental health, the action may be those three things. It may be engaging differently with your community. It definitely will, when it's getting deeper and deeper and more of a problem. It's not demonic possession. It's something where I need to go talk to somebody. I need to figure it out. I may need medication to help me manage it. So, yeah, we pray and we take action. Oh, my mental health, here's another myth. My mental health is good, so I don't focus on it. I'm good. I'm good. But sometimes we're busy saying I'm good and we're not. When people say, how are you doing? Fine. You could have had a horrible day and you're feeling lousy, but we say fine because that's what's expected. Sometimes we do that to ourselves when it comes to our mental health. And when it's good, we still focus on it because we want to keep it good. Because the fact is, things can change. So it may be good today, and I hope it's good tomorrow. But monitor your mental health so you know, is it good? Am I falling apart? Take care of it. just like you have to monitor your blood pressure, your glucose level, your cholesterol numbers, you get your cancer screenings, you do all these things even when you're feeling good. You have that annual physical. These are all the things that are recommended to manage your physical health even when things are good. So take stock. How do you focus and manage your own mental health? Be honest with yourself. If you're not sure that that's a sign it's an issue, find a mental health professional to work with because things can change. So as we wind up, I want us to remember that you can't look at a person and tell if their mental health is good or not. Some people may look sad, depressed, or they may look anxious, or they may jump at everything, and you figure that out. But some people can have a big smile on their face and be as depressed as all get out, or be as anxious, or have any other mental health issue going on. So don't judge a book by its cover. Look at all the myths we see and move past them. If it's you, get some help. It's okay. And one I didn't mention that I will add on is, oh, that person just wants attention. If a person is acting out and acting depressed, acting suicidal, saying these things, and you say they just want attention, if you need attention so bad that you're going to say you're going to kill yourself, then that's still a problem. That's more than attention because that's pretty devastating. So listen to those around you, see what's really going on. Maybe you're going to be that person that gives them the proper attention they need. If you're in need of mental health help, reach out. You can contact me. You can go to my website, blucaslpcs.com. I might not be the person for you. I might not be your flavor. So I will help you find somebody because I believe mental health is so important that I can't treat everybody anyway. So maybe you call and say, "Oh, I need a male therapist. I need this. I need that." I can help you find that. I can be your therapist or help you find one. So I hope you've looked at some of the myths around mental health. If you believed any of the myths, I hope I dispelled them because it's time to let them go. Let others around you get the help they need. It's okay. We always like to end with a call to action, and that's something you can do as a result of what you heard tonight. And that result is take care of your mental health. It's real simple tonight. Your mental health is real. You're not weak. You're not less black. You're not something's not wrong with you. Like it's a fault of yours. No. Your mental health is a health issue. Take care of it. That's my first call to action. And my second one is always vote, vote, vote. Here in Texas, we are in it is open for voting right now. Don't just walk into the poll and vote for what I heard of these people. No. Go vote. Go to League of Women Voters. Pull up the voters guide. There are other ways to do it, but that's just one. Find out what's on your ballot. Read, study. It's too important to just say, oh, well, I don't know. I'm just going to vote for somebody. No, it's real. So, in this time, be an educated voter and get out there and take care of your mental health. I'll see you next week and join me during the week, Monday through Friday, around the noon hour, and we have that midday moment of positivity. I will see you next week.